advice for every single one of you guys. If you're out there building a car for somebody else, you're in it for the wrong reason. If you're worrying about what you do to your car when you modify it with somebody else's opinion, you are building your car for the wrong reason. Always, always, always build your car for your own enjoyment. Just because you have a certain taste does not mean that it has to be somebody else's taste. Hey guys, it's Donnie again. Welcome back to the channel. I'm over here on a beautiful New England morning. Probably about 75, 80 degrees or so. It's supposed to get a little bit warmer. But today we have a good day. We're going to end up putting in all new hydraulics in the clutch system, bleeding it, tightening the drive shaft, and hopefully, if all goes well, we should be taking this thing for its first drive today. So about a week ago, I ordered a slave cylinder from O'Reilly's, and I was just going to piece together a line, use my existing master. It ended up being a complete shit show. I returned the slave cylinder, hit up in Juku, got a complete clutch hydraulic kit. So that's what we're going to be installing today from the master, the line and the slave, with the clutch damper, delete, and then we'll bleed the clutch, tighten the drive shaft, and ideally we should be able to take this thing for a ride today. I still need to go get a header, which I'll be picking up this weekend, or sometime early next week. It's about 2 hours away in New Hampshire, but it is an ISR header. It's exactly what I wanted, exactly what I needed, and it's going to save me money in the long run. So we're going to be picking that up soon. However, today we're just going to be focused on getting the clutch hydraulics done and getting this car moving. So let's see what we got. So this is what we got. Zeddy Master, Zeddy Slave, ISR braided line. So let's get the master out of this car. Let's get started. So let's get started with doing the worst part first, and that is getting the cotter pin and pin out of the master right there. And then the shitty part comes of unbolting the master from the back side, which in theory should loosen up this whole pedal. So let's pull that cotter pin, which is right here, right up here. We'll pull that out, we'll get that disconnected, and then we'll go in the engine bay and we'll start pulling the master. Well, don't do what I did. I got the pin here, but I've now got to take off my dead pedal. I've got to take off this cover because I dropped the fucking pin behind the fuse box. Rip. Pro tip, if you leave your dead pedal in, it'll get stuck behind it when it falls. So we're at the fun part. I'll pull the master here. There's one bolt here. And you go around, you can see there's another bolt right down there. Kind of pain in the ass to see. They're both a pain in the ass to get. Let's pull them. Don't spill brake fluid. It's the worst thing you can spill. Just a heads up, I just spilled some. Man, it got humid and hot fast. It's probably already 85 and it's not even 8 a.m. yet. But we got the master out. I gotta lift up the front of the car, get ready to run the line, put the slave in, put the new master in, hook everything up, hook it back up to the pedal, get to bleeding, tighten up the drive shaft, take this thing for a test drive. This part's relatively self-explanatory. Hook your line up, put the slave on, compress it in, and then run your line. So the way I'm going to do it is dropping the line from the engine bay down into the trans tunnel area. It's a pain for me to record under the car, so I'm not going to, but the straight end of the line will go right here. We'll pop this cap off, that way we can bleed it through afterwards, and like I said, pretty self-explanatory, not hard at all. Alright, so there are two different lengths of this line. This is the shorter of the two. I don't like it. I'm going to keep it for now. I'm going to order the longer one, but I don't like the way this is routed at all. There's a lot of heat it's next to. It doesn't look good at all. It looks like shit. It's running right off the back of the head, which once again I don't like. I'm just going to reroute it around the throttle cable over here, up and over the booster for now, and then we'll order the other longer line and we'll replace it at a later date. I don't really care what it looks like right now, I just want it to move. So if I can get it to move, get this all bled, and we'll focus on making it look good another day. This is fine for me right now. So let me get the master in, and then we'll go in to the interior and we'll get the pedal back on, which is the most pain in the ass part. And then my dad's inside, I'll go grab him and I'll have him pump the pedal, and we'll get this thing bled. One thing I did forget to mention, when you get your new master, this is most likely going to be all the way in. What you're going to want to do is take your old master and line it up, and then just get it close enough to the length, and that'll be a good starting point. You can always adjust it later on. So yeah, right there looks about good for now. We can start there. So as you guys can see, I did end up driving the car. It was not bearable. I drove less than a half a mile down the road. I almost choked myself to death with carbon monoxide, partially because I still have the shifter open, but with both of those ports being open on the header, this thing is nearly undrivable. I had to shut it off at a red light because I was legitimately about to die. I had my head out the window while I was driving. But I will be picking up an ISR header this week, and that will be included in the next video, where we're going to be pulling the exhaust off, pulling the diff out, getting the diff welded, going to pick up a set of coilovers, and then we should be okay to have this thing ready for the event at the end of the month. I didn't drop the ball yet, but if you watched this far, then you know I am planning on drifting this car. A street car to me is a car that I personally can drive to the track, drive at the track, and drive back home without issues. It's something that I've always done, and I think it's a giant part of grassroots driving to me, and what makes it extremely enjoyable is driving your car there and making sure you have to drive it home. So I'm going to save the rest of that for another video. We'll probably do coilovers and the header in the same video. I have a GK Tech roll center kit on the way as well, so we'll probably do that. But I am not planning on putting that in before the event because the alignment on this car is actually fairly good. And I have to swap out tie rods and everything with the roll center kit, so I'm not really ready to put it in. So the next video will probably be coilovers and header. And then as soon as I'm done with that, right after this event, I talked to one of the guys at work. He's going to give me a hand. We're going to start, and we're going to get ready to weld the quarters. So I cannot wait to have this thing stock body. We're going to weld them, roll them, and pull them. So it should be awesome. I'm on the lookout for a set of wheels, but I believe I'm just going to 5-lug swap it, even though it has all new hubs and brakes all around. Just opens up my wheel options like a ton, and I'm a stickler for real wheels. Will I get them for this car right away? Probably not, but I am a stickler for real wheels. I'm a 3-piece guy, personally. I have 3-piece wheels. My Supra, if you haven't noticed, I had 3-piece wheels on my Z. If you didn't notice, I had 3-piece wheels on the Celsior. I'm just a 3-piece wheel guy. A lot of people are like, why do you waste money on it? I don't really care. It's what I like. I didn't build the car for you. I built the car for me. So that's where we're leaving off on today's video.